Hello and thanks for staying with us. Customs intercepts more seizures from smugglers. Also on customs reports, private aircraft owner aims to comply with government directives. Plus, more report. I am Igiseme Etinye. Stay tuned. The Customs Management has stated that more revenue will be generated before the end of 2021. The Comptroller General of Customs stated this when he was presenting customs matters at the National Assembly. He told the lawmakers that customs will always implement government rules at the port.
Why are we having problem meeting our target? And despite the fact that the National Assembly has put in everything that is necessary to get us moving and collecting the targeted revenue. Mr. Chairman, let me start by saying, unlike my brother in the NNPC, the job of customs is unpredictable. We rely on the market forces that drives the import of items into Nigeria. And as of today, Mr. Chairman, the bulk of our revenue comes from import. In most climes where the customs collect revenue, they rely mostly on excise. And that means the production within the country. Today in Nigeria, as you know very well, Mr. Chairman, the only excise we are authorized to collect is on tobacco and alcoholic beverages.
According to him, the service will also make sure that all revenue leakages are blocked throughout the country.
Today, Coca-Cola is produced in Nigeria and paying no excise. It's only in Nigeria that you find Coca-Cola products and they're not paying excise duty. All other carbonated drinks are also injurious to our health. So if we equally tax tobacco and alcoholic beverages, I see no reason why we should not tax the carbonated drinks. We have said this for the past 5 years I've been on this seat. And up to today, we have not been able to get it through. Why? The reason why, I don't know. So, Mr. Chairman, my submission is simple. We will continue to rely on the unpredictable atmosphere to collect as much as we can, but for us to be precise and more predictable, I think we must pay more attention to our industries and extract excise from them. That will be more predictable and much more realizable. And of course, for every import duty we collect, we are, as a matter of fact, encouraging other countries to produce. For every import that comes into our country, it is our money that goes out to finance those factories and give jobs to their own people. Whereas in our case, we are not producing. So, Mr. Chairman, to say this is that the National Assembly should also help and see how, on the whole, totality of it, we can encourage domestic production, because that is the only way we can sustain our economy and, of course, sustain the revenue collection for the Nigerian Customs Service. This is one of the biggest challenges the Nigerian Customs has, and I don't think it's only Nigerian Customs Service, it's the global problem to all customs administrations. Even the most advanced customs administrations suffer the calamities of smuggling because of the penchant of our people to move across items that are either prohibited on prohibition list or those that would attract the duty, but for some reason they evade the duty. So this is not only our problem, but it's a global problem. And I In Nigeria, ours is even the worst because our people are the most non-compliant group of people. I must say this and say it with all sense of responsibility. If we measure in terms of compliance, our people are not ready to comply. And therefore, you find out that for every 10 containers that we examine, you hardly find 5, in most cases, that are fully in line with declaration. The rest are either underdeclared, in connivance between the importers, the freight forwarders, and of course our officers in some cases. So this is one of the fundamental reasons why smuggling still continues to strive. Along our borders, Mr. Chairman, distinguished members, we have put in place what we feel is adequate in terms of managing smuggling. We have a 3-layer enforcement. We have the area commands that are deployed in the borders. We have the federal operation units, and we have the strike force, which are always on standby for any credible information to strike. These have yielded adequate result, but certainly that has not curbed smuggling. And I must say here, Mr. Chairman, that for us to stop smuggling completely is probably unheard of. But we are working assiduously to reduce it to the barest minimum. And we need a lot of other input in terms of technology, in terms of manpower, and of course, most importantly, Mr. Chairman, is that I've said this in so many forums, and I will repeat it here, is that the non-cooperation of our border citizens is one of our biggest problems. And I don't blame them, because when you go to these border communities, Mr. Chairman, you find out that in most cases, there's no governance, there's no presence of government there.
You are watching the program Customs Report. The Assistant Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of Zone A, in a visit to Ogun State 2 Command in Abeokuta, said that the command will also implement government policies without fear or favor. She commended the revenue generated for the command, saying that she expects more revenue before the end of 2021. She was welcomed by the Customs Area Controller in charge of the command.
Revenue collection from January to August, which is the main core of why we are here, in 2021 ran as follows. The revenue target for the command in the year 2020/2021 quarterly stood at 6.2 billion. And the total revenue collection from January to August 2021 was 13.7 billion. The percentage of performance in the period under review represent 82%. The command shortfall of the target by 18% was attributable to certain external and internal factors, one of which is the scarcity of the raw material as reported and complained by the enterprises, or the high cost of ethanol, which is the major ingredient in the production of alcohol or distillery, and low sales due to reduction in the purchasing power of Nigerians, which was occasioned by the prevailing pandemic, otherwise known as COVID-19, and the social distancing. Recall that although the state has well over 1,000 factories, this 1,000 factories does not translate in excise revenue in the context of the fiscal policy. Fiscal policy outlined only one line of product, which is the alcohol. So if you have any business that you are into the manufacturing here, so long as it is not alcohol, we are not covered by you. January to August 2020, what we collected was 8.1 billion. But in 2021, the corresponding year of the same period, January to August, we collected 13.7.
The ACG has this to say.
There was a study recently that if we do excise in Nigeria properly, excise will have a lot of revenue. And because there's going to be automation of excise very soon, with e-customs, there's going to be end-to-end automation, all the raw materials, so from start to finish, it's going to be automated using blockchain, the blockchain technology. So all this, where they don't declare what they have really done or how many bottles or their production is going to be monitored, because it's going to be full automation. So I'll encourage everybody to key into this, and very soon excise is going to be automated, like I said, especially when we have all these drinks, because it's not easy, humanly possible to start counting and monitoring them from start to finish. Some of them produced at night while the officers would have gone home and all that. That is why automation is key. So that's why we are preaching e-customs now. For the seized cars, currently there's auction ongoing in Ikorodu to decongest the Ikorodu. I'm sure most of these your cars will soon be uploaded for e-auction. They're currently working on that, and gradually they'll get Ogun is next after Lagos. I can assure you, so very soon. This was because what I can say, all these cars are still here. They've been here for years. So we'll still talk to the controller auction and see what they will do about that. I'm also glad to tell you that vehicles have been procured very soon. I think by next week. We had the DCG FATS with us last week, and he said by next week or the upper week, new vehicles will be deployed to all the area commands. I hope you have made your request in writing. Okay. Barracks, yes. On the issue of barracks, like I said, the CGC is very particular about our welfare. In Lagos, the contractors are already on site. They're building about 150 flats for the officers and men of Lagos. And I'm sure very soon, Ogun State is next. So if you have land, if you have space, let us know. You know, that will make the award of the contracts easier.
We have now, once we remove these vehicles.
Oh, good. Good, okay. That is noted. Hospitals, too, even in Lagos too, we just awarded the contract of a 50-man hospital for Lagos. And I'm sure if they have space here, they will gladly do it, because we know health is wealth.
The newly decorated Assistant Contractor General for the Nigerian Customs Service, in charge of the headquarters, has thanked the management for the promotion of all officers all over the country. So the promotion will enable officers to continue to improve in their service to the nation.
I thank God Almighty for making this possible. Then the CGC for looking out for the best. And if you look at, since his assumption as the Controller General of Nigerian Customs Service, he always go for the best. He look at officers, their performances, and he looks for integrity. So for me, I feel very, very happy, humble, and elated for this decoration to Assistant Controller General of Customs.
Yeah, what did
That day, his speech can be attributed to like a sermon, because he talked about integrity, he talked about service, and he talked about accountability. That whatever you see happen is from God, and that he expects all of us promoted and decorated on that day to have it behind our mind that we are going to be accountable for whatever action we do, and that discipline is one of the issues he has talked about, and that he wishes us all well, and he wishes us success in the performance of our duties. The office of the ACG headquarters is concerned. It's it's attached to the office of the CGC. The office is responsible for the administration of the office of the CGC, and that revenue-wise lies with tariff and trade. But overall, there is an improvement in the revenue generation of the service. The service is doing well and we are on course. And by the end of the year, we are going to meet the target given to us as a service. We are going to meet that target. Since he came on board, he has changed the way promotions are being conducted. Once there is no any disciplinary issue, officers that have passed the requisite examination and the criteria, they are given their promotion as at when due. And the promotion is based purely on performance, not on who you know or how long you stay on a rank. Once you are able to pass the exams, pass the requisite criteria, and based on availability of vacancy to each and every rank, officers are promoted. And very soon, another set of promotion is going to be set in motion.
Also, the newly decorated controller in charge of Ogun State Command has continued to thank the federal government and also the management of Nigerian Customs Service for the promotion exercise done for all officers all over the country. So the promotion will further encourage the officers to do more and also fight smugglers along the nation's borderline.
I am full of excitement and I'm also full of gratitude to God. But most importantly, I am full of thankfulness for the management of the Nigerian Customs Service, the Controller General and his team. It's not an easy thing to climb the rope and get to the last promotable rank in your career. Incidentally, my excitement has even increased for the fact that the ground where we're standing now, the zonal office, the zonal headquarters of Nigerian Customs Service in Lagos, is one of the places where I honed my skills in this job. This is where I was appointed a public relations officer for the first time in customs as a very young man way back in 2002. And from here, I also acted as secretary to Zone A way back as far back as 2004 till a very long time. So it's very significant for me that I'm being decorated here today. But most importantly, it also gives me joy that I will now be assigned greater responsibilities to add value to this institution that I love so much. Of course, as a media person, you know what we've been doing in the past, trying to help the service become better. But one thing that gives me joy is that over the years, custom keeps improving every day. I just hope that myself and my colleagues who have just been promoted will have the opportunity to add value to even increase it more. And of course, promotion is not necessarily based on the fact that you did not pass. It is based on the fact that of existing vacancies. You may have found out that many people passed. The existing vacancies so that they will take few. And so some of us are lucky. But it's my expectation that since management of customs has so much improved the examination interview to the extent that it's conducted every year, of course, I believe that the next promotion, most of them will pass, since it's yearly. Wherever the person that is working gets to, those who are running will also get there, and vice versa. So they have not closed the window for promotion. I pray that God Almighty will look into their hearts and give them opportunity to also wear this rank, and as we are wearing now, because the opportunities are there for them.
The Deputy Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Customs Service has urged private aircraft owners to immediately come forward and finalize their document. He has this to say on the latest on the private airline operation in the country.
All between the 7th of June and the 6th of August this year, we requested for all private airline operators to come to the Tariff and Trade Department of the Nigerian Customs Service for the verification of all their import documents. And this exercise, which spanned about a month, eventually resulted in 86 private jets and aircraft operators, coming to the Nigerian Customs Service to show us the kind of documents that they use in bringing in their aircrafts into the country. Also, the exercise revealed that of this number, 57 of them were verified as commercial charter operators, and these commercial charter operators had no problems with their documentation, and they were given a clean bill of health, and were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Departments to get their certificate of clearance. The other group were 29 private jet and aircraft owners who were found to be liable to pay customs duties. Now, this group where their aircrafts were valued and the appropriate duty for them was captured and the DNs raised. And in a subsequent pronouncement, they were also advised to proceed to the Tariff and Trade Department to pay the duty that were assigned to them as per the value ascribed to their various aircrafts. As I said earlier, of this 86 number, the 57 and the 29 that had been attended to, the service also found another group. We had 62 private aircraft operators who, throughout the exercise, did not show up. They didn't show up at all. But we had details of their documents from the supervising department, and we published those details in the newspapers, in 3 national newspapers. And
the Federal Operation Zone A has recovered the bodies of the 2 officers killed by smugglers in Ogun State. He warned smugglers against the killing of officers, saying that the Nigerian Customs Service will not tolerate any officers to be killed by any smugglers in the country.
What I'm telling the people now is that no matter how ingenious they are in ensuring that they deceive government, they deceive us, we're after them. We are a step ahead of them. They can never go scot-free. We will try. I have officers that are resilient, officers that are hardworking, officers that are ready to work, because all apparatus for us to work has been given from headquarters, so there's nothing delaying anybody. It is banned, outrightly banned, because the chemical they use in preserving this is cancerous and is not fit for human consumption.
Encounter any firepower with the smugglers?
No firepower at all. They ran away until the whole thing was brought here. They couldn't see anybody.
Just before the end of this week edition of the program, Customs Report, we brought you a report where the 2 killed custom officers by smugglers in Ogun State has been recovered by the men of the Nigerian Customs Service. For me, Egeseme Edine, thanks for watching.